Hello, beautiful, beautiful people. Today we are getting right into the video. This is going to be a one-take show, a one-take video. I don't have any notes with me today, but I'm just going to be talking through it. The topic of today's video is one, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to my channel because that just helps everyone involved. But the topic of today's video is the biggest 5 fat loss mistakes, what they are, the details about them. Again, gonna make it a one-take show. Gonna get through it pretty quickly, dive into it. Let's rock and roll here. I just got done recording 22 TikToks. I'm going to be out of town this coming week, I'm going to be busy and then out of town next week or this weekend, so I just need to record a bunch. So anyway, I've been talking all day, but I'm ready to keep it rocking and rolling. So let's dive right into it. Biggest fat loss mistakes. Number 1, doing way too much cardio. Now, reason for this is that in order to actually lose body fat, you need to be able to maintain muscle, have a little bit of muscle. And when you do way too much cardio without doing other things that we're going to talk about in a second, then you oftentimes burn into more muscle mass. And cardio isn't the most enjoyable thing to do just over and over again. But the biggest thing really is that you need to be able to have muscle in order to actually lose body fat. And by doing too much cardio and neglecting lifting, which we're going to get to here in a second, it's going to be number 2 actually, just to give you a little fair warning here. Doing too much cardio instead of lifting is a big time mistake that a lot of people make. I would say at most you want to do about 10 to 15, maybe 20 minutes of cardio every other workout or so. And then if you do want to have a day, if you really enjoy cardio and want to do cardio, that's perfectly fine. You can do it 3-4 days per week, but it's not absolutely necessary to lose body fat. And I think a lot of people rely on it too much, and it oftentimes is a detriment because it can, again, cut into muscle, which you won't look as lean, and it's going to make your metabolism slower the days you're not actually doing cardio. So cardio, doing way too much cardio, that's one thing. Number 2 is going to be the lifting side of things. People not actually lifting weights and strength training. In order to lose fat, again, you need to have muscle and be able to retain that muscle in order to have that leaner look to you. So strength training needs to be a big part of what you do, at least 2-3 days per week, focusing on the main compound exercises, variations of bench press, shoulder press, rows, squats, lunges, deadlifts. If you do variations of those 3 days a week or so with dumbbells even, if you go to a full gym and get a full workout in, that's fantastic. But just generally to lose fat, need to prioritize strength training and lifting weights and getting better and getting stronger. And a lot of people just aren't doing that. So don't be one of those people. Don't be they, as DJ Khaled likes to say. All right, number 2 here, or 3, I just said number 2. Constantly looking for a new diet. Like, people pick a diet that they're going to do, like keto or count their macros, or they're going to do low carb, or they're going to do whatever it is, and then they don't stick with it because it's challenging, or they're giving up their favorite stuff, and they do it for 3 days, and they're like, nah, screw it, and then they get off track for one day, and then they're like, permanently screw it, and then they're like a month later looking for a new diet to try out because that other one didn't work, even though they didn't really give it a fair shake. So, 1, whatever new dieting approach you're going to pick is probably just some kind of fad diet, and you think it's going to be like the answer to your problems, and it's just not. The answer to your problems is going to be you changing your nutrition habits, getting in more veggies, getting in more lean proteins, cutting back on some of the fun foods, not cutting them out completely, cutting back on some of the fun foods, being mindful of total calories. Oftentimes that is what it takes and what you're going to have to address. It's hard to, one of my favorite quotes, it's not actually one of my favorite quotes because I'm forgetting it off the top of my head right now, but basically if you're choking on your pride, it's going to be hard to swallow the truth. It's hard to swallow the truth when you're choking on your pride. That's the quote. So if you're choking on your pride and thinking that it's not you, it's the dieting approach, and you just need to figure out the right diet, then oftentimes the truth is that you need to change something about how you are operating, not the diet itself. I guess the diet itself does have a play with it. Any type of dieting routine where you're cutting out all your favorite foods, which we're going to get to in a second, the next thing, then it's probably not the dieting approach for you. So don't be bouncing around to different stuff all the time. Address the actual problems you need to do. That's the deal. That's what you really need to focus in on, okay? Number 4, you don't need to cut out carbs. You just don't. Carbs are not the enemy. Yes, you can overeat carbs a little more easily, but if you're getting in quality carbs like veggies, fruits, some oatmeal, stuff like that, that's pretty filling and a little bit lower calorie and filling, you will be good. Getting in plenty of protein sources if you're doing that. And being, again, just mindful of total calories. That's what it comes down to. You can fit in your favorite foods, your favorite carbs, whatever, into your goals, into your calorie goals, as long as you plan it out, as long as you are mindful of portions when you're having them. That's the biggest thing. You don't need to cut out carbs. Carbs are not just the end-all, be-all horrible for you. Bread is not horrible for you. Whatever is not horrible for you, but you need to be overall a little bit mindful. You need to be mindful of calories, not carbs. Keep that in mind. All right. Number 5, the last one, and one of the most important that will help you be mindful of calories and not change your dieting too much, and something you need to change with your diet, is getting in more protein. You need to get in, ideally it would be around at least 0.6 grams per pound of body weight. Multiply your current weight by 0.6. That's how many grams of protein you want to get in and fit within your calories. If it's a little bit less than that starting out because you need to get used to getting in more protein, so be it. That's perfectly fine. But ideally, it would be around 0.6 grams per pound of body weight and working up to 1 gram per pound of body weight, kind of depending how much muscle you have, how lean you are, what your goals are. More protein is going to help you build and retain muscle, which can help you have that better, leaner look to you. And it's also going to be a lot more filling for the calories, so that in order to be in a calorie deficit, which is necessary to lose fat and be mindful of total calories, then it's going to be easier to stick with it if you have more filling foods and you're working that in on a more regular basis. So that is the dealio. Those are the 5 things. Please let me know what questions you have. Comment below, like my channel, subscribe. Little quickie today. Peace and blessings.